Hello and welcome to online edu classes of Brilliant Public School by Kailash Kumar sir. Today in this video we are going to study the next interesting chapter of class 5 English, that is chapter 14, The Pied Piper of Hamelin, the one who ratted out the denizens of Hamelin. This poem is written by Robert Browning. This is the first part of our video. So let's proceed further and have a look over the life of the poet. Robert Browning was born on 1812 and died on 1889. He was an English poet and a playwright. He was born in Camberwell, England. He was mostly taught by his father, who had a collection of around 6,000 volumes at home. So his father had a collection of 6,000 volumes of various storybooks from whom he taught Robert Browning. His mother was a pianist. Pianist is a person who plays piano. And the influence of music can be seen in his poems. Browning always wanted to be a poet, and his parents were very supportive of this. They helped him financially in publishing his books. He gained popularity when his 12-volume book, The Ring and the Book, was published in 1868 and 1869. However, it is the children's poem, The Pied Piper of Hamelin, for which Robert Browning is still remembered. Let us see about the poem, The Pied Piper of Hamelin. The Pied Piper of Hamelin is a poem which has been frequently adapted into plays and short stories. It was published in 1842. The story of the Pied Piper was very popular in Browning's home. It is believed that the events recorded in The Pied Piper of Hamelin are true, as they really took place in 1284 in the town of Hamelin in Germany. The poem teaches a moral, such a moral in which we must keep our promises. Hence, we can also call it as parable. The Pied Piper of Hamelin is a children's classic that has survived more than a century. Let us see the main characters of the poem. First is the Pied Piper, a gangly, means tall, and bizarre youth with a flute. He was very strange and very funny looking man. The Mayor of Hamelin. The next is the Rats of Hamelin, the Children of Hamelin, Julius Caesar Rat, the Lame Child, and finally the Council and Townsfolk of Hamelin. So these are the characters which appear in our poem. Let us come to the first act, that is Act 1, Scene 1. The stage is completely dark with the exception of a spotlight at the corner of the stage. The narrator, dressed as a peasant means a farmer, a very common person, steps into the spotlight and begins narrating Hamelin's rat problem from 500 years ago. Narrator says, the town of Hamelin is a beautiful place. The river Weser kisses the town in the south. It is filled with beautiful spots and the townsfolk are always happy. But Hamelin wasn't always a nice place. 500 years ago, the town was plagued with rats. So the narrator says that this place, Hamelin, is a very beautiful place, as it touches by the river Weser in the south, and many beautiful spots are there in this place, and the people of Hamelin means the townsfolk are always happy here, but it was not a happy place always, because 500 years ago this place was plagued. Plagued means when large number of animals or insects come and cause great damage. So this place was plagued with rats. The spotlight on the narrator dims down as the narrator delivers his next set of lines. Meanwhile, at the same time, we see the lights at the center stage coming to life. Standing in the center of the stage are 4 to 5 children dressed as rats. They are showing each other and being rowdy. Rowdy means someone who makes a lot of noise and cause trouble. So here you can see in the picture how these children are dressed as rats. Narrator says, "Rats!" So narrator is totally astonished by the presence of rats here. All the lights have come on. On stage, we see children dressed as the townsfolk. A man walks his dog. A cook with a ladle. Ladle means a spoon with which we cook vegetables. Who's checking on his soup, and also a group of women talking. We also see a vat. Vat means a large tub or vessel or drum with cheese and a couple of barrels as props on stage. In this scene, the rats go around terrorizing the townsfolk. They are fighting the dogs, kicking the cat, and licking the cook's spoon. The townsfolk are screaming in terror. So, this was the condition of Hamelin 500 years ago. The people were annoyed, the people were totally terrified and worried because the rats had made a lot of disturbance in their life. Narrator further says, "They fought the dogs and killed the cats. They are rats here. They ate the cheeses out of the vats and licked the soup from the cook's own ladles. The rats continue their streak of rowdyism." So, narrator says that the rats continue their awful noise and create disturbance here. They are seen disrupting a conversation that a few women are having. Right, children? So, here on stage, two women are having a conversation, and these rats are interrupting their conversation. Narrator says, "They split open the kegs of salted sprats, made nests inside women's Sunday hats." So the rats were so mischievous here that they even split open the kegs of salted sprats and even made nests inside the hats of the women's. First woman says, "Isn't the weather lovely?" The same time, the rat popping up, "Squeak!" by making a sound, loud noise. The rat pops here. The second woman says, "I love your new hat." Rat trying to chew on the hat by making the sound "ee." So this was the disturbance the rat was creating here when these two women were having a conversation. Next we have Act 1, Scene 2. We see the obese mayor and council members seated around a table. They are alarmed by the sight of the townsfolk bursting into their room. The townsfolk are standing around the table. They look agitated and are yelling in protest. So in this scene we can see the obese mayor. Obese means very fat and round in shape. And the council members are seated around a table and they are totally shocked by the sight of the townsfolk as they are bursting into their room, and they are actually annoyed by the presence of rats. So they are present there to complain about the rats. Agitated means feeling or appearing troubled or nervous. Yelling means shouting in a loud, sharp way. Protest means an action expressing disapproval to something. So here the people of Hamelin were actually protesting the presence of rats there, and this all was due to the inefficient decision of the mayor of the Hamelin. So, in order to protest, the first man, waving his fists in anger, says, "It's clear that our mayor is a fool." So, he is expressing his opinion about the mayor that he is a fool person. First woman, by rolling her eyes, she is saying, "Our corporation is no better." Second man is saying, grinding his teeth in anger, "If the mayor and the corporation don't get rid of these rats, we are going to get rid of them instead." The crowd chanting behind and saying, "Get rid of the rats, get rid of the rats, get rid of the rats." So, this is the condition of the protest there. The people were fed up with the rats in the town of Hamelin, so they came there to protest against these all things. Next we have Act 1, Scene 3. This is a continuation of the previous scene. We see the corporation and the mayor still seated around the table, racking their brains for a solution. The angry mob around them has dispersed. Racking their brains means thinking very hard. So the mayor and the corporation members, the council members, are still thinking very hard to come out of this problem. While the time the angry mob which was there to protest, they had dispersed. Mayor, brooding. Brooding means upset and worried. So mayor says that we have tried everything. These rats are giving me a headache. If only there was a way to get rid of them all at once. So mayor is expressing his inefficiency, that he has tried everything to get rid of these rats, but it's all of no use. The same time there is a sound on the door, knock knock knock. So mayor felt excited. God bless us all. Who do you suppose is outside the door? Corporation member, mildly startled. So he was little bit quietly astonished. He said, "Come in." Enter the Pied Piper, a gangly man dressed like a jester. Gangly means someone who is tall, thin, and awkward in movements, very funny. Jester means a professional joker during ancient times. So, this was the appearance of the man, the Pied Piper, who knocked outside the door, and when he came in, everyone was surprised to see him. Pied Piper, walking towards the council and mayor, says, "Please, your honors, allow me to be of assistance. Please, your honor, give me a chance to help you all. I have a magic flute, and with it I can lead any creature under the sun." So I have such a magic flute with which I can drag anyone under the sun. Means he had such a power in that magical flute that he can do whatever he want by power of possessing and hypnotizing through the sound of the flute. Pied Piper proudly striking a pose. So he was confident enough, that's why he said, and he had such a deal with mayor. He says further, last June I freed a town from swarms of flying insects just a week ago. I eased Asia from their monstrous bats. I can rid it of all its rats. All I ask in return is a payment of 1,000 guilders. Guilders, a unit of money earlier used in Netherlands. You can see the currency here. Mayor exclaiming in astonishment, 1,000 guilders! Well, pay you 50,000. So, Mayor is he's trying to bargain here by saying that 1,000 guilders is quite more amount. So we are going to pay you 50,000 for your work if you are successfully dragging out the rats from the town Hamelin. Right, children? So this much in this video. Thank you all. I hope this all things, the first video, the first part is clear to everyone, and the remaining part of the chapter in the form of second video and third video will continue in the next ones. So thank you all. Have a blessed day. Stay well, stay safe, and study well. Thank you all.